The dawn on the highlands does not arrive gently. It pierces through the mist with harsh, golden streaks of light. Elias, a ranger with 10 years of experience facing the elements, was on a routine patrol when his footsteps suddenly froze. Amidst the silence of the great forest, it was not a roar that echoed, but a steady metallic clicking, the sound of a rusty iron trap swaying in the wind. Following the tracks to a small crevice hidden by sharp limestone rocks, Elias stood deathly still. Huddled in the darkness was a tiny, trembling ball of golden fur. It was Kaelan, a lion cub less than 3 weeks old, exhausted from dehydration and absolute terror. His family was gone, victims of a brutal poaching incident, leaving Kaelan, a future king, alone in a land that usually has no mercy for the weak. Elias carefully wrapped the tiny soul in his worn canvas jacket and rushed back to the station. As soon as he stepped onto the porch, Maya, his Belgian Malinois, was already waiting. Maya stood with the high alertness characteristic of a working dog, head held high, eyes boring into the strange object. But as Elias lowered the bundle, Maya's posture shifted abruptly. Her ears softened, and the fire in her eyes dimmed. Maya did not see a predator. She saw a broken soul in need of protection. She approached slowly and with authority, then began to lick the dust from Kaelan's forehead. In that sun-drenched moment, an invisible vow was forged. The guardian of the station officially adopted the outcast of the savannah. As weeks turned into months, Elias Ranger Station became witness to a strange biological phenomenon. Maya, with the purebred instincts of the Belgian Malinois, was not just nurturing Kaelan, she was training him. She treated the growth of the lion cub like a high-level security mission, establishing a framework of iron discipline that a wild lion would never have known. Every afternoon, when the sun was at its peak and heat rose from the dry grass, Elias would watch their feeding ritual from afar. Maya would stand blocking Kaelan's food bowl, her ears pricked with authority. Kaelan, who was beginning to look like a beast with emerging muscle, trembled with instinctive hunger. Naturally, he would pounce on the prey, but with just a low vibration from Maya's chest, not an angry growl, but a command for focus. Kaelan would immediately sit down. The cub would stare at the bowl, his body tense with energy, until Maya used her nose to give a soft nudge to his shoulder. Maya was teaching Kaelan a priceless lesson. His strength was meaningless without the patience to control it. The bond between them became visible through shared habits. Kaelan began the habit of pointing at moving shadows in the grass, exactly like Maya. When Elias took them for walks around the reserve during the day, Kaelan did not run wild. He always stayed close to Maya's left side, his large paws attempting to mimic the light, tactical gait of the working dog. Their play was a symphony of power and restraint. When Kaelan accidentally used claws that were too sharp or a pounce that was too heavy, Maya would quickly pin him to the grass, staring into his eyes until the lion yielded and gently licked her muzzle to apologize. Maya, a dog weighing less than 30 kilograms, was commanding a future king 3 times her size with the quiet confidence of a master. Yet amidst that iron discipline were moments of profound tenderness. In the stillness of sweltering afternoons, they shared a strange intimacy. Maya spent hours grooming Kaelan's mane, which was beginning to grow in patches. Her tongue moved through the coarse fur, while Kaelan let out low purrs so deep they could be felt through the wooden floor of the porch. If a stranger approached the station gate, Kaelan would stand shoulder to shoulder with Maya, his small mane bristling in unison with the fur on her neck. They were no longer 2 different species living under one roof. They were a combat unit, a pack of 2. Maya had given Kaelan what the tragedy in the ravine had stolen, a sense of belonging. She infused into the lion's blood what is called the Malinois heart, steadfast, fiercely protective, and bound by a code of absolute loyalty. Kaelan might have the body of a lion, but his soul was forged by the discipline of a protector. The grim reality of the wild began to manifest clearly when Kaelan turned 2. He was no longer a playful big cat. He had become a majestic beast with a roar that could rattle the station windows. For the safety of the local community, and to ensure Kaelan could lead a pride of his own, the wildlife authorities ordered his transfer to a vast rewilding reserve over 50 miles away. The day the specialized transport vehicle pulled into the yard, The savannah sky was deceptively blue under the brilliant sun. Maya sensed the change in the atmosphere immediately. She did not bark at the strangers as usual. Instead, she walked in narrow circles around Kalin, tail tucked, her eyes never leaving her giant apprentice. When the heavy iron door of the cage opened, Kaelan hesitated. He backed toward the porch, pressing his massive head against Maya's lean chest, trying to find her familiar scent one last time. Elias felt a bitter lump in his throat as he had to use force to pull Maya inside so the rangers could lock Kaelan's cage. He could feel every muscle in the Malinois body trembling from suppressed protective instincts. As the truck slowly rolled away, trailing a cloud of yellow dust in the midday sun, Maya broke her quiet discipline. She did not bark. She let out a long, mournful, and lonely howl that pierced through the stifling heat. It was the cry of a guardian whose mission had been taken away, leaving a vast void on a porch once filled with satisfied purrs. 14 long months passed since the day the truck carried Kaelan away behind the veil of dust. At the reserve, Kaelan had transformed into a proud young male with a majestic black mane. At the ranger station, Maya had begun to slow down, silver hairs appearing around her muzzle, but the sharp fire in her working dog eyes never went out. On a sweltering Tuesday afternoon, under the scorching heat of the highlands, Maya suddenly bolted up from her nap on the porch. Her ears pricked up, her body shaking with instinct. She stared intensely at the eastern treeline with a focus Elias had not seen since the day Kaelan left. Maya began to let out short, rhythmic, and excited barks, her signature happy bark, and then dashed toward the perimeter fence. From the heat haze rising off the ground, a massive, sun-bleached figure emerged. It was Kaelan. He had bypassed 2 layers of reinforced fencing and traveled 50 miles of terrain filled with predators and dangers to find the only place he called home. As the station staff panicked and reached for tranquilizer guns fearing a wild animal attack, Elias shouted for them to stop. Kaelan had no intention of attacking. As he approached Maya, the lion weighing over 180 kilograms suddenly stopped and performed a perfect play bow, front legs stretched out, rear in the air, exactly the play invitation Maya had taught him in the station yard. They crashed into each other in a whirlwind of golden fur and pure joy. Kaelan used his massive head to gently lift Maya up, nuzzling her neck with unbelievable tenderness, defying all the harsh laws of nature. He never forgot the Malinois code that his foster mother had painstakingly taught him. This reunion was not just a viral moment. It was powerful proof that the foundations of love and discipline are a universal language for all living souls. Kaelan stayed at the ranger station for several hours, lying peacefully under the shade of an old acacia tree, letting Maya nestle her head into his thick, coarse mane. When the rescue team from the reserve finally arrived, this farewell had a completely different tone. Kaelan voluntarily stepped into the transport vehicle with a calm and dignified demeanor, as if he had achieved the peace he had long craved. He returned home just to tell his mother that he was okay, and that he still carried her lessons in every breath he took in the wilderness. Elias later received astonishing reports from the reserve. Kaelan had become a legendary figure there. He was the only lion known for the habit of protecting orphan cubs from other prides. A calculated compassion and extraordinary calmness that was a clear reflection of the dog who raised him. As for Maya, the deep sadness in her eyes vanished, replaced by a quiet contentment. She had raised a king, and her mission was truly complete. The bond between Maya and Kaelan reminds us that species may divide us, but the heart knows only one language, the language of the pack, where kindness and loyalty transcend all predatory instincts. The video ends with the slow image of Elias sitting on the porch, stroking Maya's fur under a brilliant golden sunset, while in the far horizon, Kaelan's roar rises like a proud greeting to his guardian. If the story of Maya and Kaelan touched your heart, please press the like button to spread this message. We would love to hear your feelings. Have you ever witnessed a bond that crossed all natural limits? Share your story in the comments below. And if you want to explore more miraculous journeys from the wild world, do not forget to press subscribe. See you again. Always live kindly and keep the wild spirit in your heart.